Hello, my beautiful cosmic beings of Earth. That didn't even make sense. Hello, my beautiful Earth beings. I love you so much. Thank you for being here today. All my Tauruses, Capricorns, and Virgos. Of course, if you are applying this to other signs that you have in your charts, if you have any heavy Earth placements or any Earth placements in your big three, you are welcome to claim these readings as well if they resonate with you. I am Jace. I'm Jace. My pronouns are she, her, they, them. I am non-binary. I'm a new YouTube creator, but not new to tarot, as I do have a tarot account on TikTok where I post collective readings pretty what's the word? Consistently. Although I am trying to post more daily, and I am going to be going live, I think, tomorrow for the first time. That's so exciting. So if you'd like to book a personal reading for me, or you'd like to check out other healing content that I have that isn't necessarily based around tarot, I do have a spiritual community Instagram called Cosmic Angel 777. Also my TikTok, I don't think I said what it was, but it's cosmic.angel777, where I'm starting to expand it on more spiritual and healing content, and I speak on all things of the mind, body, and soul healing. But right now it is mostly just tarot. Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to be here and to be expanding my creativity and the way that I share these messages for the collective and the platform that I bring it to. I just like to introduce myself a bit in each reading when I do personal readings. And also, I like to introduce the space, the environment a bit to allow y'all to warm up to me before you receive these messages so that you feel more open to receiving them. Right now, I have some divine feminine music playing because I felt called to play this healing frequency for this collective. I will link it below. Also below are going to be my TikTok and Instagram if you're interested in joining the community and being a part of something more consistent than YouTube and, you know, like more on a daily basis. I'm normally on there every single day. So you can check that out. I also have my other YouTube in my snip feed in the description below, which is more mindfulness content, but more based around myself, less around the collective. I am going to be going in with the Ancestors and Angels Oracle deck. I like to start with an Oracle deck to get some general messages for this reading of what your spirit guides, angels, ancestors want you to know in this week following the Leo full moon. So this is going to be until Thursday of next week. Today is February 18th. And I'm also going to be going in with this White New Moon Tarot deck, which I like to go in with tarot decks after the Oracle to get a little bit clearer messages, to get like more descriptive. I keep losing my train of thought. I feel like some of y'all are mentally blocked, which is funny because right before I started I grabbed some extra crystals that were for like the higher chakras. But yeah, I like to use tarot for getting some more descriptive guidance, clarity, whatever your spirit guides need you to know. Whenever I feel clouded in a reading and I address it, it normally clears up that cloudedness. But just in case, because I feel a little all over the place doing this reading, which is so funny because I didn't feel that way before, I'm going to clear this air lightly. With some sound cleansing. I love that. I feel like it kind of just like dissipates the energy. And then I have the selenite wand. I'm first going to go in and clear my upper chakras because I feel like mine are beginning to be blocked as I'm channeling your energy. And I'm gonna release all that back into the universe, wrapped in love and light for the good of all and harm to none. I feel better already. I feel like my heart chakra could use a little bit more. Thank you. I release that in love and light back into the universe for the good of all and harm to none. And now, if I have your consent, I'm going to clear your chakras. And if I do not have your consent, then you could just fast forward like 30-45 seconds from this point. But I'm gonna go in and clear your crown, your third eye. Oh yeah, I feel like y'all have some third eye blockages right here. I feel a little bit of a headache. I just saw 444 as I was saying that. I'm gonna clean your throat and your heart chakra. And I'm gonna take all that energy, wrap it in love and light, and release it back into the universe for the good of all and harm to none. There is a window open behind the screen, so I'm just blowing that all out the window. And let Mama Earth do her thing and transmute that into a more positive energy. And so in its place, we're gonna call in some love, light, abundance, healing, protection, and joy to fill these chakras so you can receive these messages for your highest good and healing in a calm, reflective, and positive state of mind and being. Thank you for letting me do that. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. The crystals I have out in front of me, which I feel like is important for me to state this time, is Amethyst for some psychic protection, opening your crown and third eye chakra. I have some blue lace agate, which I'm honestly still not sure what it does. I do have a description, but it's a new crystal, so I don't really know what it does. It has some angelite, which connects you with your angels. I also feel like it's really good for the throat chakra. And then we have some unakite and some rose quartz for heart chakra healing. I feel like unakite is better for abundance and like outward heart chakra healing, whereas I feel like rose quartz is really good for self-love and like inner reflection and attracting love to yourself. Tiger's eye for some solar plexus healing, some confidence, drive, and focus. Some garnet for groundedness and protection and balancing our root chakra. Some obsidian for protection. Some labradorite, which I think it's spotted labradorite. I'm honestly not sure what crystal this is. It was a gift, and I don't really know what it does, but I felt called to grab it. And then some hematite for your sacral chakra, also for some protection, but I feel like some of us needed this divine feminine healing today, especially with those higher chakras being blocked. More so this chakra and the sacral chakra and the heart are very divine feminine energies, and I feel like this collective needed some clearing in that sense. So I'm sorry for the really long intro. It's normally not that long. I'm still getting new to this, still getting used to this, sorry, but I really do feel like this collective could have used it. I feel a little bit rushed right now, so maybe you guys haven't been feeling super centered, super grounded recently and feeling just present. So I'm just gonna ask you to take a second with me to take a deep breath so that we can go into these messages. I am going to be tapping into your energy just as much as I'm tapping into your spirit guides energy. So if you feel rushed and not present, these messages are not going to be super clear. If you don't feel receptive of these messages, not a lot's going to come out. So if you're here, it's for a reason. You want to hear something, right? So let's just take 3 deep breaths, okay? In through your nose, out through your mouth. Don't mind this is from some Palo Santo because I was cleansing the space and setting the intentions with your decks to make sure that we're all good. So ready? So wiggle that all out. Just shake it all out. All that stagnant energy. I feel like some of y'all just got off work. Maybe you're at work right now. Don't carry that with you. Especially if you work a corporate job. That is none of your business. You clock in, you clock out, baby. You clock in, you clock out, baby. Stop taking on people's problems. And if people are texting you after work, that is a lack of boundaries. They need to respect your boundaries. Work is at work and home is at home. You need to know that you are allowed to rest once you leave that place. And of course, be a good person to the people there, especially if you work in customer service. You know, spread love, receive love, all that good stuff. But don't be killing yourself here. Don't be killing yourself over no job. Listen, you are not replaceable as a human, but those corporations will treat you replaceable. You better value yourself. You better value yourself. Let's get into these messages, shall we? Okay, my beloved earth signs. For each of the signs that I did a reading for, I picked specific decks that I felt called to use that correlated with the signs, but I was really excited to do this deck. I feel like these decks just like these particular decks go together so well, and I'm happy that I felt called to use both of them for the earth signs with the white Newman and the angels and ancestors. Like, they're just so beautiful. Like, look at these photos, and you can't really see them, but they're beautiful. Like, look at those illustrations. I feel like some of y'all would really appreciate that, and that's why I felt called to show you, especially because right now I don't really have a tripod yet. So this is how we're going to be recording our readings for now. You get to see my lovely face, but I hope that is not a problem for any of y'all. I will show you the cards if I feel called to do so. So let's get started, okay? Spirit, bring forth the messages for the highest good of these Tauruses, Capricorn, and Virgo collective. Any messages that they need to know following this Leo full moon for the upcoming week, especially because we're going to be entering the 222 portal. 22222 portal. Very powerful day. That is also the day of Pluto's return. So it might be a little chaotic, but also it seems to be a really positive day also, because remember, where there's destruction, there's renewal. So let's see. Is there a reason why I felt called to say that, Spirit? What is it that you'd like this collective to know? What is it that you'd like this collective to know, Spirit? This collective of earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo signs. What would you like them to know, Spirit? I'm getting the chills right now. Y'all's guys are very much present. Y'all guys, I'm not really feeling ancestors too much. I'm seeing a few of them. Hey y'all, I felt like I just saw a few of them move to me. But they're welcoming in the spirit guides, angels, and ancestors of this collective to bring forth the clearest, most lovely messages of healing, hope, and guidance. The highest good of this collective. Can we get a few more cards? I feel like this message is a bit unclear still. That's too many cards. I'm sorry, Spirit. Let's get one or two more cards, please. I love y'all. They said, no, we're going to give you 3, but we'll give you 2 at a time so it doesn't overwhelm you. I'm screaming. Okay. So first we got Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movement and action. Love this. I just saw the number 1, 2, 3, 4. You might be seeing 1234 recently. Ascending numbers are beautiful because that is the message that I'm getting from this card. The student becomes the master. Young grasshopper moving to the master position. I had another message like this. I think it was the air signs that I did yesterday, where it was like shifting from the teacher to shifting from the student to the teacher. Whereas before you were completely in a learning mode, you are still very open to life, but in a way where like you have a grasp on the knowledge that you already have, that you are now shifting into a level where like you've mastered the level of healing, the level of learning that you've already been at. You are now ascending to a new timeline, ascending to a new chapter of your learning, where you are now still this student, but you are also the master, like the teacher. Like, whereas you could teach the lessons you've already learned, you are now learning new lessons to be able to continue to level up and teach and to master more and more and more. Isn't that so beautiful? Look how much work you all have done. I'm so proud of you. There are cheers going on in my head. It's like, yeah, wow, I'm so proud of you. I literally feel somebody's grandmother coming through. Oh my God, it literally feels like an older, like Italian woman, or maybe Polish. I'm hearing sausages. They have like, they used to wear like makeup or something, like dress really extravagant. Lipstick is big, like a bright lipstick, like a bright pink or bright red lipstick. Blonde hair, like beach blonde, used to always like blow their hair out when they had like really short hair, but it would be like blown out. They were like a little like voluptuous, you know. They were just really nice. Oh my God, I hear them coming forward, like, and whoever's like ancestor this is, I feel like it's one specific person's, but I feel them coming forward and they're just like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you, like grabbing your face, like mwah, mwah, like giving you kisses all over. And I feel like you used to be like, okay grandma. I feel like some of y'all might be like identify as a man or go by he, him pronouns because I'm seeing like more of a masculine figure. Maybe you're more in your masculine energy, I don't know, but like getting kissed and just being like, okay grandma, like I get it and your grandma's like, I'm sorry, I'm just so proud of you, like literally like talking with a thick accent and just like kissing you all over. That's so sweet. Oh my god, like this is really like a congratulations message so far. Wow, good for y'all. Y'all are doing, literally this full moon is like closing things out for you, and the 222 portal is opening them up. A lot of this is for Taurus. I just saw the number 517, which that number always stands out to me because someone I know has that birthday and they are a Taurus. So I feel like this message is like heavy for the Tauruses, but also for all the earth placements. Wow, like now they always say congratulations. This 222 portal is just opening up like a brand new fucking timeline for you. Like I was saying, oh sorry, I just shook the camera. This full moon probably brought up so many emotions that you were just like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like you probably just felt so chaotic, like felt the strength of that full moon so much more than you would have thought, or maybe you were just super tired. I feel like a lot of y'all either felt super chaotic, like you weren't in your right mind, like there was so much going on. You felt like there's so like some of y'all like a manager at Best Buy or like Radio Shack or some shit like that, like something with like electronics or like appliances, maybe like PC Richard and Son or whatever. I felt like someone watching this like was like a manager somewhere in like an electronics department or something and was like running around all day, like things were just fucking up. I feel like the full moon, I don't know if this is a thing, but I feel like for me at least, the full moon energy has been messing with my electronics heavy, like my technology and everything. So I feel like if you do work in something that involves that, like you were probably going crazy, like maybe systems down, systems crashing, things like that. And I feel like for others of you, you were just probably so like, what's that word? It starts with an L. I can't think of it, but it's like being really like lethargic. That's the word. Like not lazy, but lethargic, like just being so exhausted, maybe even having to work. I feel like some of you were like waiters or waitresses and were like busting tables and stuff like that. And it just probably felt so chaotic. Excuse me. But all of that was stagnant energy being pushed to the top so it could be released. Kind of like a volcano, but without the destruction. Sometimes with the destruction, but without like the killing people. Just saw angel number 1717. That might be significant for some of y'all. 17, 1-7, significant for this collective. Okay, and 444, because I saw 444 and then I saw 1444 on the timestamp. Then we have Fire Guardian, ignite your passions in reverse. Yes, I feel like there was some stagnant energy below the surface that wasn't really coming through. Yes, with this earth sign energy, y'all be real hard-headed, y'all be real thick, you'll be really stable. So maybe that's why I use that volcano, literally that volcano example, because it's like the earth is so strong, but like lava is the only thing that can really push through that and like force through that and allow things to come out. So I feel like this happening was allowing you to ignite your passions, because without you allowing yourself to tap into that chaotic energy, you can't really tap into that spontaneous energy, which of course can be really hard with earth placements, of that energy of like passion, drive, and just like being really like go-getter energy. Like it's giving Aries energy. Like maybe some of y'all have like an Aries Venus or a Leo Venus, more so like Leo rising, Aries rising, I'm getting, not so much Sag, but like just being really like goal oriented, but you're more so someone who's like slow and steady wins the race. And I feel like this happened to like bring up those energies of you know, needing to step into that like initiative energy, that like, especially with Aries, like that cardinal sign energy, where like I feel like I was talking about this the other day, where cardinal signs are really good at initiating things, whereas earth signs are really good at maintaining and keeping the consistency, like that fervor. For the water signs, I was saying how some people might have trouble with consistency, but like I said, this affirmation where it was like, I maintain my goals and ideas with the same fervor and consistency, or something like that, like fervor and passion that I started them with. And I feel like with y'all need to start that, like you need to start that way, like you need to start with that fervor and passion, because once you do, like you will just take off. Like if you can channel that energy within yourself of like going for it and going and getting it, like you really have that willpower and drive and like discipline to be able to keep going, and like that dedication to be able to keep going, which is amazing. And that's what you've been doing so far in the place that you're at. But like those stagnant energies need to come up and out to like ignite something in you to change, because sometimes we get a little complacent in our consistency because we love consistency, right? As earth placements, as earth signs, we love consistency. So we're going to continue to do the things every day that we feel like are working, and sometimes we don't stop to think, is this working? We don't stop to ask ourselves, do we really enjoy this, or are we just doing it because we feel like it gives us a feeling that we enjoy, and that feeling is stability and consistency and comfort, because of course, especially Tauruses love our comfort, right? So in reality, we have to think, you know, is consistency always a good thing? Consistency is good, but if you are consistent in the wrong space, you are now becoming complacent. So even if maybe this is why I brought up jobs. I feel like some of y'all are thinking about quitting your jobs and pursuing your passions. And I feel like having this job, which you may have gotten in the first place to get in a stable enough place to be able to pursue your passions, actually has started to come into a complacency where now you're in that stable place. But are you using that to, you know, like go after your passions? Are you? Because if you don't take up that option, guess what? The universe is gonna make you. If you don't do yourself, and the universe is trying to tell you like, hey, your spirit team is trying to tell you like, hey, we know y'all love consistency, so it's time to switch things up so you can be consistent in a different lane, in a different aisle, because right now where you're consistent is not serving you anymore, because you already mastered where you're at. And that's another thing, like with that message of the student becomes the master, it's like you've already learned everything that you could from this job, you've mastered it. So do you really need to remain there? Because jobs aren't really supposed to be, I think it's in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, I haven't seen it, but I haven't read it, but I saw a video on it, and it spoke of how you know, wealthy people who tell their children to get jobs don't tell them to get jobs so that they can earn money, because they know that they can get it. And it's not to tell them the value of money, it's to teach them the value of their time. Because at those jobs, they will learn and gain experiences in life and gain an understanding of themselves and the world that they otherwise wouldn't have known if they never got a job. 2211 is saying this. Mirrored numbers, love that. So I feel like if you want to be wealthy, you have to think as a wealthy person. 2222 also, wow, I'm seeing so many angel numbers with y'all. Okay, if you want to be wealthy, you have to act as if you are wealthy, right? Not in a way that's going to put you in jeopardy. And I know when we love our consistency and stability, that's kind of scary, right? Because if you're thinking like, well, but I'm not wealthy. Yes, but you are abundant, so you already are wealthy, just in energy. And if you can transfer that energy into physical, tangible things, then you will be able to see how abundant you truly are. So how do you do that? Well, you have to practice ways to do that, right? You can't just wake up tomorrow and be rich and then be like, oh, I know exactly what I need to do, because you might still be struggling with remaining complacent in places because you think consistency is the answer. Sometimes you gotta switch things up. Sometimes you gotta be a little spontaneous. If that full moon taught you that you don't want to be at your job anymore, and you feel like you've already handled everything the best way that you possibly could, you've gotten what you could out of this, you've done what you could do, then it's time for you to move on. Some of you work at a hospital. I feel like you need to let that go. I feel like you need to let that go. I feel like you keep telling yourself the benefits, the benefits, the benefits. What are you benefiting if you're losing your damn mind? Yeah, I don't even want to hear it. I want to hear you. I don't want to hear your excuses. I want to hear what you want, what you love, what you care about. Because, excuse me, a job that you don't want, a job that you complain about every day, why are you making excuses to justify it? If you're complaining about it every day, it's because you don't like it. Be happy. You deserve to be happy. Oh, happy don't pay the bills? In your head, and that's why I don't. Keep coming for me. No, I'm kidding. But this ignited something in you where maybe that unhappiness has finally boiled to the surface, whereas before you were kind of just like, this is what I gotta do. Now you're like, why the fuck am I doing this? And maybe you're still trying to give yourself those excuses, and it's not working for you anymore. It's not working anymore because you've already outgrown it. You learned everything that you could this time. The things that you were telling yourself before that were reasons, because excuses aren't always excuses. Sometimes they're reasons. Sometimes they're really good reasons. And at a certain point, when we grow and we learn the lessons that we needed to learn, those reasons shift into excuses because we've already gotten everything that we need to. So instead of it being, you know, well, I'll learn a lot here. Well, I'll get benefits here that will allow me to get the help that I need, or to give me the stability that I need so that I can get back on my feet, right? That's the reason that you start. But then you're saying, oh, I'll just work here for like 3 months until I'm stable, 6 months until I'm stable, a year until I'm stable, and then I move on. And it's like 5 years later, 6 years later, you're still there. Now it's an excuse. Now it's an excuse because what in you doesn't believe that you could do it? What in you doesn't believe that you could do it? Why? You set your mind on something. You said, I'm going to do this until this. And then it happened, and then you didn't move forward. Why don't you believe that you could complete something else that you put your mind to when you already completed something that you put your mind to? Hello? Y'all are earth signs. You can literally do anything you put your mind to. That's the point. That's your power. Your power is consistency, not complacency. Your power is drive and like keeping up that momentum. Like y'all literally have stamina. But you also have to recognize when that stamina runs out. Everybody needs a break. Everybody needs change. I'm just gonna turn on this ring light. You like that, huh? But now we're going in with this next card that says Sage. Be devoted and committed. What was I just saying? What was I just saying? Literally in reverse. It's literally telling you like your commitment is not being tested, baby. We know you're committed. It's time to get a divorce. It's time to get a divorce. Literally. Moon, take note of intuitive messages. Oh, some of y'all have a Libra Moon. Some of y'all have a Libra Moon. Some of y'all have a Sag Moon. Some of y'all have a Taurus Moon. That's tough. I'm sorry. Oh, some of y'all probably are different. I feel like you're like an air sign sun, but you have like a Taurus moon, or like an Earth moon, and that's like probably why you're reading this. So I'm not sorry. I have a Taurus moon. It's pretty cool. But if you have a lot of Earth in your big three, this is probably why it's kind of hard for you right now. But take note of intuitive messages with the moon card. I feel like a lot of things came up for you during this full moon, and we're still in that full moon energy, and I feel like that's for a reason. Take note of what came up, because it didn't come up just because you were frustrated. It didn't come up just because you had a bad day. It didn't come up just because of the full moon. The full moon doesn't just make things happen just because 27. The full moon makes things happen for a purpose. It's actually not even making things happen, it's revealing what's already there, but the energy just becomes so strong that we no longer can hide it or suppress it or oppress it or ignore it, you know? It has to be seen, it has to be shown, because the moon is so bright that even in the dark, things are illuminated. You like that? The moon is the brightest during the full moon. Even the things that you're trying to keep in the dark will be illuminated, and that's what the full moon does for us. Amazing. Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns and reverse. Maybe y'all grew up in inconsistent households. You might have had people who like moved a lot. I feel like some of y'all might have grown up in immigrant households where you either moved a lot, or your parents or your guardians or your mentors, they always like they weren't consistent with jobs. Maybe they couldn't hold a job. I feel like some of y'all households struggle with alcoholism, and so consistency is super important to you for a reason beyond just being an earth sign. It's because you might be afraid. Some of you, I feel like, have kids. Like I feel like the people that said work in a hospital, I feel like some of y'all have kids. Ew, I'm tasting hot dogs in my mouth. Are y'all eating hot dogs, or like y'all feeding your kids hot dogs? Don't do that. No, I'm kidding. I love hot dogs, but that's such a random flavor. What was I gonna say? Oh, so I feel like growing up, I feel like food was a problem. Like you didn't have food consistently, and like it's the things that as a kid you notice, you know? As a kid you don't always notice the things that you lack, but it's the things that like you do notice that freaks you out, like not having food, not having lights, not having a proper shelter, not being able to make friends because you're always moving, not being able to make friends because you can't invite them over, you're not allowed over people's places, you can't afford to go out with friends, you can't afford to do things or get the things that your friends are getting. Those things stand out to a kid, not because they're materialistic, but because they don't have something that they feel like would make their childhood complete, that they see other people who are happy in their childhood had those things, and so we equate that with like, oh, happiness. So I feel like your ancestors are saying like you're already not that person, and your desire to not be that person and then following through with it, like being consistent at a job and being able to like handle those things and being consistent in anything in life, is already you breaking those generational curses. So why do you have to keep punishing yourself for something that someone else put you through? Wise one. Grow within your current situation. And that was something else that I wanted to say, is I feel like you could take something from those things in your childhood. Obviously, it wasn't right for you to go without as a child. But did your parents just simply not want to remain at one job because of like feeling like there were better opportunities? Like, let's say someone whose parent was an alcoholic, right? Not trying to glamorize this at all. Can't hold down a job because they want to drink. Take that idea and remove the toxicity from it. What would that look like in a healthy way, right? And I've done this with people before who I'm like, sometimes the way that we learn from those traumatic ass events that you could never see in a million years being positive for you because you're still hurt and still trying to heal from it, is to remove the person completely, break it down to like on a piece of paper, especially if you're an earth sign. This is the best way to do it because logic works best, right? Intellectualizing your emotions. Think about it. Remove the alcoholism, remove the instability, not being able to provide for their kids, right? Think about why it is that they're doing that. They want to be able to do what they want, to tend to their needs, while being able to heal something or feel differently than the pain that they already feel. How can you do that? Right? Live a life that you want to live, doing the things that you want to do, tending to your needs, while feeling better than the cards you were dealt. By pursuing your passions, believing in yourself, healing the wounds that are keeping you from progressing, and being able to provide yourself and your children a life that you wish that you had, that had that stability while also having that passion for life. Because also, your kids don't want to see their parents unhappy. And if you don't have kids, like, your inner child doesn't want to see you unhappy just to prove something to yourself that somebody else did or didn't do. That's not fair to you, and that's not right. We have to be able to find a balance. Sometimes we think that to be a better version of ourselves or the people before us, we have to be the complete opposite, but then we lose ourselves because we all share similar traits. We all come from one source. We all are human. We all are reflections of one another. We just express that and portray those things each differently and only in our unique ways. And so what's really important is that you don't erase yourself by trying to not be that way. You just pick and choose what it is that is best for you and what's not. And sometimes we do that in a detrimental way where we're like, well, yeah, I am picking and choosing. I don't want to be anything like them, so I'm going to be nothing like them. Okay, but, you know, there might be parts of them that exist that you do like that you don't want to think about. There might be parts of them that exist that if they existed within a person who didn't hurt you, you would like. And those same parts are qualities that you have. Even the negative traits are probably qualities that you have. And so at the end of the day, whether you're a stable parent and unhappy or an unstable parent and unhappy, your kids are going to feel that if you're a kid. I mean, if you have kids or if you are trying to heal your inner child, they're going to feel that because either way, it's unhappy. And the result of unhappiness is normally not something healthy. It's normally not something good. And kids are really fragile. So it's really important to tend to that, not only for your children, but for your inner child, because they are a reflection of your inner child. And lastly, with broken arrow in reverse, embrace the energy of peace. I feel like it's saying embrace the energy of chaos. Not everything has to be stable, peace, and quiet all the time. Sometimes shit gotta get popping, because only in destruction can we have renewal. Only in death can we have rebirth. And not like literal, like people dying, but even then, they always say whenever someone in the world dies, another person is born. So you have to think about it like when that old self when your old self dies, who do you want to be reborn? And if you're healing right now, which is probably why you're watching this video, there's a part of you that you're letting go. Your ego, your trauma self. The person that you created to hide yourself from the world and to protect yourself in it. Who are you under that? Who do you want to be? Because that's most likely who you already are. And you don't have to change yourself or look outside yourself or do anything outside yourself to be that person. Chances are you literally already are, but you have to accept all of yourself. The traits that you don't like because they reflect things that you don't like, the things that you do, the circumstances that you're in that reflect circumstances that you don't want to be in, but they're better than the circumstances you used to be. You have to accept all of that. And it doesn't mean be ungrateful. That just means be aware. Be aware. Don't force yourself to be grateful for things that make you unhappy. Allow yourself to be grateful for the things that do. I feel like sometimes we get it fucked up. Like we think, well, shouldn't I be grateful about this? Like at least I have a job. It's like, but if the job makes you unhappy, why would you be ungrateful to be unhappy? You could be grateful that your bills are paid. You could be grateful that because you have a home, you get to come home and rest. You get to come home and spend time with your family. You get to come home and have friends over. You get to come home and watch TV. You could be grateful for the result of that, but you do not have to be grateful for the thing that made you unhappy. And same thing goes with your upbringing. You do not have to be grateful that you had an upbringing that wasn't good. But you can be grateful at who you became because of it, because you are still a result of those experiences. And you can be grateful for yourself and to yourself for all that you've done since then. And you can forgive yourself for the things you've done to survive and grow and to not be like those people, even if it meant that you were unhappy with yourself. You can forgive yourself for that too and start being happy with yourself now. So let's see what other messages we could get. That was completely based off the oracle. Okay, y'all had a lot to say today. Okay, let's get some quick messages in the tarot, okay? Let's get a little bit more insight, a little bit more guidance. Do you have anything else you have to say for this Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, collective spirit? Temperance, right? We were just talking about that. It's all about balance. Yes, sometimes we try to be the opposite, but sometimes, here's the thing, right? Every phase of our lives is meant to happen. Growing up, you may have had no stability whatsoever. And so when you grew up, you only wanted stability, but sometimes it meant that you were complacent in the things that made you unhappy. Now is your time that you've examined both extremes. How can you pick and choose from each one what serves you best, what helps you curate your happiness in the life that you want to live, and bring them together and form the life that you actually truly do desire. A little bit of spontaneity, not inconsistency. A little bit of consistency and stability, not complacency, right? And things are okay. It's okay for things to change. Change isn't bad. It's how things changed that hurt us, right? We have to think about that sometimes. Change isn't bad. Change didn't hurt you. It's what changed that hurt. And if you never process that, it's gonna still hurt when you think about it. Maybe moving hurt you in the past, but now moving would heal you. And maybe it's just the circumstances that it happened under. Look at all these orbs flying around. Y'all are a powerful ass collective, let me tell you. Look how beautiful this card is. I showed this card earlier too. Look at the sun beaming behind you. Leo energy, especially with this Leo full moon. Some of y'all do have Leo. I was talking about that, huh? But also Leo represents your inner child. Because it represents your inner child and it is ruled by the sun, it represents your soul. Tending to those Leo placements helps you reconnect with your soul and your inner being and will help you strengthen your third eye. Beautiful. Excuse me. And then the Ace of Swords in reverse. Sometimes we don't always need to be right. It's okay to be wrong. I don't know why that's what's coming from this. Sometimes you want to be like, sometimes we want to be wrong, but we hate the idea of being wrong. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we don't want to be right about something, but then we get like a satisfaction from being right. So for example, being like, oh, I'm gonna hate this job. You don't want to be right about that, but a part of you feels a satisfaction that you're right, but then you hate the job and then you're like, fuck, I hate the job. Can I get a little bit more clarity on this, Spirit? I feel like there's another message coming through from that. There are so many people who want what you have internally. Like, there are so many people who want the mentality that you have. And you're so intelligent. Like, there are so many people who wish that they had that within themselves, that they could see themselves that way, that they could even carry those things within their being, but their experiences just do not form them that way, or they have yet to curate that ability because they haven't been working on it. But that's something that you've been working on for most of your life. Like I was saying, intellectualizing your feelings, when you don't allow yourself to feel things, you're always gonna work. When you don't want to pay attention to the things that you feel like are weaknesses, you're not going to work on them. You're going to work on the things that you feel like are strengths, and then those are going to get stronger. So you definitely worked on your mind. With the Page of Swords in reverse, it's kind of like to your detriment, because I feel like you're not being honest with yourself, because you're not feeling things. You're not holding space for all of yourself. That's why we have this divine feminine energy going on in this reading. Those are literally the energies of emotions. Seeing past logic, like seeing past like what's like right in front of your face, like practicality, and just being able to like look beyond that. What else? The heart chakra, which is like being open to receiving abundance and your emotions, loving yourself through them and loving others through their emotions. And then the sacral chakra, which holds shame. When we have unprocessed feelings, they turn to shame, they turn to grief, they turn to angst, because we never allow ourselves to feel them. We're basically saying that there's something wrong with them, and they get stored right there, which is also our womb chakra. Is also the chakra of creation. That is how we bring our ideas to life. That is, if you're a creative person, that is how you manifest them. I feel like some of y'all want to start businesses. If you feel like you have a block right now on creating ideas for that, that is why. That is also our sensuality and sexuality. So our like inner confidence, like not so much outer confidence of being able to put ourselves out there, but like having inner confidence with ourselves and like accepting ourselves for all that we are, these beautiful human beings, and also being comfortable enough with yourself to pleasure yourself in more ways than one. And I feel like you are with this Hangman, it's telling me that you're the one keeping yourself captive, because whereas one time it was necessary to hold the strength, this is also a message of balance with this Temperance, and how I was saying, you know, taking things from each situation, from the polar opposites of how you grew up and how you are now, and allowing yourself to cultivate your life. And this is a similar message of, you know, you can't just all be in your head. And for most of your life, you may have like only been in your head. Maybe as a kid, you were really emotional and you felt like that caused you more pain, or you felt unsafe to be that. And so growing up, you became completely intellectual, logic-based, and like really strengthened your mind, your willpower, and your drive. Yeah, some of y'all I feel like have like Leo risings, or like a Leo North Node, because hella, I just see like that driven energy. Maybe some of y'all are athletes too, or like, you know, do like workouts. I feel like some of y'all want to start like a workout business, or like a workout content page. Like I feel like you're creative, but like not in like the traditional ways of like art and stuff like that. Some of you may be creative in those ways as well. I see some painters, but I feel like some of y'all might be interested in investing in things that are like, you are a content creator, but you're not necessarily making content that is like, you know, all like funky and like it's more like things that you like to do, like exercise, like working out, maybe even finances, organization too, business ideas, like being like a financial advisor, or like helping people launch their businesses. I'm seeing that as well. But right now, you're the only one keeping yourself stuck, because whereas at one time using your intellect was the best thing to do, now you have to feel your feelings and feel your emotions, because as a kid, you already felt the extreme of that, right? And so growing up, you felt the extreme of the other way. So what now, you can use each of the two, reconnect with your inner child, and it's not going to be an extreme, but it's going to be enough where now with your logic and your intellect, you will have the capacity to balance yourself out that you didn't have before. And if maybe you don't allow yourself to feel your feelings because you're afraid of being controlled or overwhelmed by your feelings and feeling like that might be a weakness, well, you have so much of that mental strength, of that intellect, to be able to balance that out. It's going to be like a second nature to you, because it's already what you do. That's already a second nature, you know? That's already the first thing that your brain automatically goes to, is to be intellectual over emotional. So if you allow yourself to be emotional, you're going to balance that out. But I feel like you're afraid that you might not, you're afraid that you might like let things get the best of you, don't gaslight yourself. If you feel something, is for a reason, because if you don't let yourself feel and you feel something, it's for a reason, let me tell you. Then we got strength in the reverse. This also speaks of balance, but it also speaks of abundance with this infinity sign that also represents 8. This is the card number 8 as well. Allowing yourself to come out of your ego. I feel like right now you have to forgive yourself and just be honest and be like, you know, I'm grateful for my ego because it's done so much to help me and it's gotten me so far, right? Congratulations, how we were saying in the beginning. But right now it's not serving you anymore. So you have to say thank you, ego, and allow it to take the back seat. And because you have such a strong willpower, your ego will do that. I feel like some of y'all are so different than like what other people struggle with, but you could literally tell your ego like, hey, I love everything that you've done for me. You're amazing, but I need you to take the backseat on this one because I got it now. And it will. And every time it tries to come up again, do that. But thank it, love it through there. I feel like right now, maybe you might be realizing that your ego gets in the way and you're like fighting it. Your ego is literally your friend. Like your ego has been your friend all your life. It's really served you for your highest good. So don't treat it like an enemy. Treat it like a tool. Not a tool, but like treat it like a support system, because that's what it's meant to be. And then we have the 3 of Wands. Okay, we got a little clarity on the 3 of Wands, Spirit. Last message for this collective. I'm hearing "What Do You Want From Me" by Adam Lambert, but then I'm also hearing like, I think it's a Hilary Duff song, and it's like, why not, like, why not? And it's basically like, what are you waiting for? Like, why not do a pretty dance? Why not take a pretty chance? But then I'm also hearing like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? Just don't give up. I won't get out. Please let me in. I won't let you down. Literally, your higher self trying to tell you like, you fucking got this, bro. Like, stop letting your ego control you. Stop letting what you think, your childhood, what other people tell you about stability and what your life is supposed to look like, control the way that you perceive yourself and the things that you want to do. Don't even let yourself be a hater. What? Y'all be hating on yourself for real. Y'all be hating on yourself for real. Ugh. And I feel like at this point, this might even be how you feel about your current situation, where you're like, what do you want from me? But then like the other side of your brain is like, don't give up. Come on, keep going, push through. Like, stop, like, fuck this shit. Go do something else. Like, what? And then there's like that pretty side of your brain that's like, take a pretty chance. Do a pretty dance. Things like that. Okay, Spirit, anything else? 9 of Wands in the reverse, 4 of Cups in the reverse. This speaks of letting your reluctance get the best of you and not being able to move forward. But you're literally like you're literally right there. Like, you're literally about to cross the finish line. Not even the finish line, how do I say this? It's like, you're no good for me. Why am I hearing Off to the Races by Lana Del Rey? But it's like, okay, you know, like horse races, how they shoot the gun and they're about to start. And you're like about to start. But every time the universe is about to shoot the gun so you can go and win this race because they already know you're going to win it, you're like, no, I'm not ready yet. No, sorry. Oh, wait, sorry. No. Okay, yeah. No, I just said that because I was mad. No, I don't know if I'm ready. And it's like the universe is like, fuck, bro. Like, we're trying to give you what you deserve. And traditional tarot, and in like most tarot decks, this always shows like a hand like coming out and like giving. Is it a traditional tarot? I know it's in the modern witch tarot, which is like a modern depiction of the original tarot. But it shows like a hand coming from the sky and like giving you this cup, and then the person being like sitting there and like not wanting to take it. And in this one, it's like you knowing that you have that cup and then you not using it even though all your other cups are empty. It's like, bro, you're literally sitting in a fucking river. You know that you're abundant. You just need the cup. You just need to fill up the cup to be able to like drink from it. You know what I mean? And it's like you're not allowing yourself to. So Spirit at this point is like, bro, like, you gonna let us shoot this gun off or what? You gonna go for this thing or what? Because as soon as you decide you're gonna go, guess what? You will maintain the fervor and the passion and the inspiration that you started with, but you need to start with it. You need to start with that passion and drive, because once you do, that is exactly what you will keep. Like, the way that you start is what you will maintain, and you know that. So you can't start half-assed, you can't start reluctantly, you can't start half-heartedly. You gotta freaking go for it, and you're gonna be successful. Like, no ifs and buts about it, okay? And like this was a powerful ass message. Like, spirit really came through for this one. The amount of orbs I've just been seeing flying around, the amount of like spirits that have been present, voices that I hear in my head, and how clear these messages have been, and how they've all been connecting and coming full circle in everything that I've said. And then on top of that, I just cannot stop getting chills, which is so crazy. But you know what? I have some ramen in the microwave that I forgot about. And it seems like this is everything that you needed to hear. Happy 222 portal. I hope that this has been an amazing reading for you, and this gave you the fucking kick in the ass that you needed, because you're that bitch. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you identify as a woman, because you're still that bitch. You're still that one. You're still that divine ethereal being. So you better go fucking get it. Excuse me? If you like this reading, click the like button. If you want more readings like this, or you want more readings from me, you could subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below if anything resonated, or if you want to hit me up personally and let me know if anything resonated. You can DM me on my Instagram at CosmicAngel777. You can also reach out to me if you'd like a personal reading. And if you'd just like to join the spiritual community that I have on there, similarly, if you want more consistent readings and shorter readings, you can check out my tarot TikTok. I'm also going to be going live tomorrow, and it's for the first time, but I'm going to be, so tomorrow being Saturday the, I think 19th or 18th, I don't know, at 2:15 p.m. Arizona time. So that's about 1:15 p.m. Pacific time and 4:15 p.m. Eastern time. Other time zones I literally don't know, I'm sorry. But if you'd like a reading on there, then I'm going to be doing that as well. I'm going to try and be more consistent with that. If you'd like to check out my other YouTube channel, which is some different content, a little bit more of me, a little less of the collective, it's Celestial Jace. Everything is going to be in my snip feed below. If you'd like to leave a tip, if you really like this, and it's also going to be in my snip feed. I love you all. If you really like my content and you feel like someone could enjoy it as well and could really use these messages, then please share with your friends and loved ones. I love you so much. I'm sending you so much joy, positivity, abundance, and healing. You freaking got this. I believe in you so much, and thank you for being here if you made it this far. Bye.